cost of this convenience? The silent assassin that lurks into the shadows and threatening to destroy our most precious senses.
Silence is golden, but what happens when the silence is permanent? When the music fades and the only sound left is the haunting echo of our own mistakes, the innocent indulgence of our favorite tunes. The innocent indulgence of our favorite tunes. The convenient escape from the reality may be stealing from us the very essence of life, the gift of sound.
With each passing year, statistics grow more alarmingly. Millions of people, many under the age of 20, are losing their hearing at unprecedented rate. The culprit, wrong exposure to loud noises that would make a jet engine blush. The consequence, lifetime of muffled tones, strained conversation, and silenced melodies.
We are here to expose the hidden truth behind the headphones we love, to shatter the silence surrounding a growing health crisis, and to sound the alarm on a threat that's quietly destroying our sense of sound.
We, the team S12, presenting you connected, but at what cost? The dark side of personal listening devices.
Clinically, hearing loss is divided into three types: conductive, sensory neural, and mixed. Conductive hearing loss. It interferes with the conduction of sound from external ear to the stapediovestibular joint. Sensory neural hearing loss. It interferes with cochlea, cranial nerve 8, and its central connections. Mixed hearing loss. It has both elements of conductive and sensory neural hearing loss.
Hearing loss due to prolonged usage of PLDs occur when our inner ear is damaged or destroyed. Frequent exposure to loud or moderately loud noise over a long period of time can cause damage to the soft tissues in our inner ear. Our inner ear consists of tiny hair cells that are gigantic in number. These hair cells are susceptible to damage by loud sounds and prolonged exposure. Eventually, the cochlea can't relay the sound messages to the brain, which results in sensory neural hearing loss.
According to a study, an exposure up to 60 decibels of noise for more than 60 minutes causes reversible hearing loss, whereas an exposure up to 85 decibels of noise for at least 8 hours per day causes permanent hearing loss, which is quite concerning.
Our main aim is to study the prevalence of hearing loss due to prolonged usage of personal listening devices.
Our research objectives are to estimate the prevalence of PLDs-induced hearing loss among total hearing loss population and to determine the socio-demographic factors associated with hearing loss due to PLD usage.
The prevalence of hearing loss in India alone is 26.9%. This fact urged us to conduct a descriptive cross-sectional observational study in ENT hospital to understand the impact of prolonged usage of PLDs on auditory health among hearing loss patients. We surveyed a population of 320 through a pre-formed questionnaire. Prior consent from individuals has been taken.
The subjects were explained about the procedure and a cohort of 320 individuals with hearing impairment were asked to answer the questionnaire with yes or no questions. The questionnaire consists of 5 parts. The first part consists of subjects' demographic data. Second part consists of PLD usage, duration and purpose of use. Third part consists of subjects' ear condition and to list out other complications. Fourth part consists of subjects' hearing difficulties, and lastly, fifth part consists of medical history of the subject.
After collecting the data, pure tone audiometry test is conducted using Triveni Classic 1 audiometer, according to which patients are segregated into sensory neural, conductive and mixed hearing loss.
According to our study, among 320 hearing loss patients, 62 patients had diagnosed with conductive hearing loss, 51 patients had diagnosed with mixed hearing loss, whereas 207 patients had diagnosed with sensory neural hearing loss. Out of these 207 sensory neural hearing loss patients, 80 were PLD users, while 127 were non-PLD users. In these 127 non-PLD users, 48 patients have congenital hearing loss, 28 patients have hearing loss due to trauma, 51 patients have hearing loss due to ear infections.
The key findings of our study revealed that 64.7% of the total hearing loss population suffered from sensory neural hearing loss, 15.9% with conductive hearing loss and 19.4% with conductive hearing loss.
After excluding the patients with conductive, mixed, congenital, trauma-related and ear infections-related hearing loss, the prevalence of PLD-induced sensory neural hearing loss is 25%. Among them, males are 77% and females are 23%.
The statistics on the severity of hearing loss among those affected breaks down into 31.25% for mild hearing loss, 35% for moderate hearing loss, 25% for moderately severe hearing loss, and 8.75% for severe hearing loss.
The age distribution of those affected shows that 3.75% are children and teenagers, while the majority, which is 50%, are young adults, followed by 30% in the middle-aged group and 16.25% in the elderly group.
Our study also found that the people using PLDs for 1 to 3 years, who comprise 60% of the affected individuals, suffer from mild to moderate hearing loss, whereas for the people using PLDs for more than 3 years, who comprise 40% of the affected individuals, suffer from moderate to moderately severe hearing loss.
Here is the daily PLD usage pattern of the affected individuals. 46.25% are using PLDs for more than 2 hours, and majority of them have moderately severe hearing loss, while 41.25% and 12.5% are using PLDs for 1 to 2 hours and less than 1 hour respectively, and most of them have moderate hearing loss.
We tried to analyze the correlation between the time span and duration of PLD usage with the severity of hearing loss.
Individuals using PLDs for less than 1 hour daily for 1 to 3 years mostly have mild hearing loss. For more than 3 years mostly have moderate hearing loss.
And for the individuals using PLDs for 1 to 2 hours daily for 1 to 3 years suffered from mild hearing loss, whereas for the people using PLDs for more than 3 years suffered from moderate hearing loss.
In contrast, individuals using PLDs for more than 2 hours daily for 1 to 3 years have moderate hearing loss. For more than 3 years have severe hearing loss.
This indicates that the severity of hearing loss is increasing with both the time span and duration of PLD usage.
In addition to hearing loss, there are other complications such as tinnitus with 11.25% and hyperacusis with 42.5%.
Considering these findings, it is imperative to acknowledge the impact of PLD usage on auditory health to mitigate potential harm.
This is the battle for our ears. Take action. These are some safe listening practices. Turn it down. Keep the volume low. Take breaks. Give your ears rest every hour for 5 to 10 minutes. Choose the right headphones. Opt the headphones with inbuilt voice limits or noise cancellation features. Get regular hearing test. 60 to 60 rule. Keep the volume less than 60% until 60 minutes and get the proper fit of earbuds.
Every transformation begins with individual action. Start prioritizing your hearing health today.
As the last note fades, we are left with a haunting question. Will our legacy be a world of silence or a symphony of sound?
Device is disconnected.
Good work. Congratulations, good work. It would have been more impactful if you had turned it down also. And I would like to ask you, if you had to do it in a different way now, or a prospective work, so what would you do? How would you design your study? This was as I understand it, was a retrospective study looking at people presenting, I mean, not a but you looked at people who have presented to you at the ENT hospital with hearing loss, and then you look back and looked at how many of them are using personal hearing devices. You got 25%. But if you want to follow up all these people with personal hearing devices or personal listening devices, how would you plan such a study?
So thank you for the question, sir. If you want to do it in a prospective way, it would be better if you go to colleges where students are usually will use this kind of devices. So it would be better if we go to colleges or any universities and we may ask to them.
Sir, if I can add some point, we would also like to concentrate on the places where the PLD usage is more prominent, like in the where the youth are more present, like in the educational institutions or in the public transport. We would like to take more surveys and make the study more statistical than descriptive. That's all.
So, like you said, I think the study population is also not the right study population, because patients that come to the ENT hospital, I doubt how many of them really can afford PLDs and are a chronic user of PLDs that come to the hospital. So I would like to ask you how you could justify your study population.
Thank you for the question, ma'am. But nowadays, due to the increase of PLD usage, the cost of the PLD is also decreasing. It's like minimum of 100 rupees we are getting the PLDs. So everyone are using the PLDs nowadays, ma'am. So we can get PLDs like cases in the ENT hospital too.
Have you, through the literature, have you ever come across the difference in impact between different PLDs? You have headphones, you have earbuds, you have bone-anchored hearing devices these days. Is there any difference in impact between the different PLDs?
Thank you for the question, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, there is a difference between the usage of PLDs, but we didn't go through the qualitative analysis of these PLDs, so we didn't add it in our study, ma'am.
This is the first good presentation, Amma. It's a current health problem.
Thank you.
And we mentioned in video data collection also. What procedures used also, that is also good. What is your conclusion of your study? Conclusion. What is your conclusion?
Thank you for the question, sir. Actually, we surveyed patients in the hearing loss patients. In those, some are unexplained cases. So in those unexplained cases, the major risk factor is PLDs. So by this study, we conclude we might be a chance, like PLD might be a chance for their hearing loss. This is our conclusion.
So
sir.
chronic PLD usage is associated with the hearing loss. What type of hearing loss?
So thank you for the question, sir. Sensorineural hearing loss, sir.
Okay. What type of study yours?
So thank you for the question, sir. It is descriptive cross-sectional study, sir.
Okay. You mentioned associated factor also, PLD usage.
Yes, sir.
So can we call it as an analytical cross-sectional study?
There is no control. Thank you for the question, sir. No, we can't call it analytical study because we don't have a control group here.
Very good. Okay. What is your primary objective?
Sir, thank you for the question, sir. Sir, our primary objective is to estimate the prevalence of PLDs induced hearing loss among total hearing loss population.
Okay, ma'am. Why you use the estimate word?
Thank you for the question, sir. Because it is a prevalence, we are like calculating the prevalence, we use the word estimate.
Okay. Very good methods.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.